All right, so hopefully the internet's chilling out, but there's literally nothing I can do about it. Even if I was connected to an Ethernet cord right now, the internet would still be glitching out. So this is attempt number 2 at the stream. If you're watching this back where you're just having stream issues, of course, unlike what was like the
Hey
maybe the
everyone.
biggest stream of the year, last game of the regular season, we play our way into the playoffs. At least it allowed my face to become a little less red because my face got super red during that game. Oh man, I was shaking a little bit, super nervous. Hopefully the internet will relax and we can break down what was a monumental win and also a frustrating game. You know, this was a like I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. A lot of the same issues, and we're not going to harp on those until we get into the stream. We'll also talk about this playing a little bit. I'm thinking about maybe streaming tomorrow, doing Blazers Uprise live tomorrow, and just going in depth on a preview. We'll also do picks against the spread tonight. I wanted to get graphics, but I don't have them, so I'll probably do it over Twitter. But I'll do it like instantly if you want to do that, Eric. Or we can do it on stream, actually. We'll do it on stream. What the hell am I talking about? We're literally streaming right now. I'm tripping. But yeah, we'll hopefully we'll just give us a break right now. My goodness, that game was a lot tougher than it needed to be, though. That last possession was the scariest possession I've ever watched. Me and Eric did a watch party for a few of you guys where we streamed while reacting to the game. I'll have to upload that clip or maybe like a little like highlight tape of like us ranting. I'll probably need to censor some things. But I just want to see our faces. I want to see our faces on that last possession because oh my goodness, that we were so scared. That was so scary. I don't know what was going through your guys' mind on that last possession when Karis LeVert was walking it down for the last shot, but thank God he missed that shot. He was on fire all game long. We'll have to talk about why that was, but yeah, I thought that was going in. I thought like he's been hot all game. He's gonna, of course, this is how it's gonna end. Like I was so like scared and pessimistic, and then once he missed, it was such a big sigh of relief. Yeah.
Like Alex G says, it wouldn't be Blazer basketball if it wasn't. I'm assuming close at the end is what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still feel like we got lucky. Karis LeVert was getting any shot he wanted in the paint all game long, and he settled for a pull-up jumper, step back just inside the 3-point line. It still almost went in, but I feel like he could have done a better job of getting into the lane because we could not stop him.
mm-hmm. All right, I thought RIP Blazers was trolling, but we might have lagged for a second. I just gave him a 5-minute timeout because I thought he was trying to troll us because he is the ultimate troll.
We did like.
Karma for timing him out. Yeah. We're back. All right. So shout out to Elias for the $5 donation. Says manager Allen should not have been giving us that work. Especially with the bigs we had in the game, yeah. I will go over the box score right now. We're going to have to grind our way through the lag, but we will try and, when we're back, when the lag stops, we'll try and pick things back up as quickly as possible. We'll just do the best we can.
Want to say quickly, shout out to Martin. It says it's his first time posting a comment in the chats.
Is he a
from
lurker?
Sydney, Australia. He just says, my first post from Sydney, Australia. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Usually we don't have lag this bad, but right now Comcast is like slapping me in the face. So we're going to try and grind through it. Hopefully it calms down and we can break down this game. Appreciate you tuning in. Yodega says this is exactly how teams will guard us going forward. Yeah, I mean, they were trapping Dame hardcore in the second half, and he still had 42 against a defense just completely loaded up against him. We'll break things down more in depth about kind of the defense that Dame saw and the defense we were playing as well, because it was not good defense whatsoever. Once again, we needed 134 points to win. 2 back-to-back games that were down to the last possession when we had 134 points. Yeah, imagine if we just played average defense. We would be blowing teams out of the water right now with how good our offense is, with how good Dame is playing. But anyway, let's go over the box score. I will pull it up. I'll put it on screen, actually, for once, because normally I just read it off, but I can actually just do this. Points are on the right. So you had Dame, 42, 12 assists, 13 for 22 shooting. That's 42 2 points on 22 shots. That's efficient. 8 for 14 from the free throw, or 8 for 14 from the 3-point line. From the free throw line, he was 8 for 9. Carmelo only had 9 points. He kind of struggled. Zach Collins was 1 for 7. He struggled as well. He just needs to dunk more. Him and Nurkic both just need to dunk more. Nurkic did have 22 points, 10 rebounds and 3 assists, 11 for 17 shooting. So, like, people were, like, talking about how Nurkic was having a bad game, but he did shoot 11 for 17. I didn't realize he scored that much and shot that well. Did you think he had a stat line like that, Eric?
Yeah, because I saw it they showed it. Towards the end, I think when he shot the free throw. So yeah.
Gary Trent Jr. 16 points, 4 for 10 from 3, 6 for 13 from the field. Hassan Whiteside, why did he only play 15 minutes? We're gonna have to talk about this. He was 5 for 6 from the field, 9 rebounds, 16 points, 2 blocks, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. With Nurkic having 5 fouls, like, you could have ran with Hassan longer. I'm kind of disappointed Hassan only played 15 minutes because I don't think Nurkic was better than Hassan in this game. Hassan was finishing well. Hassan was abusing the mismatch. We could have even taken more advantage of our bigs because there were stretches where they were guarding Nurkic with Justin Anderson and Luau Cabarro and small guys, and we weren't really looking for our bigs. I thought that's something that we could have done, but obviously offense wasn't really the issue in this one. But yeah, you had Dame going off again, 42 points, third game in a row with 40 points or more. He finished the season averaging 30 points per game. A little under, but it rounds up. So when you look at Damian Lillard's stat line from this season, it will say 30 points per game and 8 assists. 30 and 8, man. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
And we need every bit of it.
Every bit of it for the third game in a row.
The Brooklyn Nets.
Who are missing their like whole star in the lineup. Yep. But CJ stepped up. So there's a lot of talk about CJ's back. He didn't shoot the 3-ball well, but he finished well inside the arc. He did have 7 assists. He did have 3 steals. He played some clutch defense. I thought he kind of struggled here and there defensively all game long, but when it counted, he D'd up Karis LeVert and played good defense on him, and it won us the game. He also hit a clutch pull-up to put us up 134 to 130. It was a bucket that we ended up needing. So CJ made some clutch plays on both ends of the court, and yeah, I mean, who knows what's up with his back? Like, I mean, it's like a I don't know the terminology for it. I mean, I guess we do know what's up with his back, but who knows how much it's affecting him is what I was really trying to say. Who knows how much it's affecting him, but it was nice to see him have a good game today.
Yeah, especially the first half. He really struggled in the second half, but first half I think he was 6 for 7 at one point or something like that. Yeah, obviously did not shoot well the rest of the game. He had that one really clutch mid-range jumper. But yeah, other than that, he really struggled shooting. But yeah, we're going to need him to hit some of those open shots because you got a couple open threes when Dame gets trapped, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, good first half for CJ. I didn't think he played well or great in the second half, but when you needed a bucket in crunch time, he got one for us.
Yep. I don't know why Mario Hezonja even saw the court. Like, at this point, I'd probably rather just run Hassan out there with Nurkic with how Hassan was playing and run Melo with the 3, which is like 2 things I said no to before this bubble, but like Mario struggled so bad and he struggled in every facet of the game. Boxing out, rebounding, defense, like it took a couple questionable shots. Like, this is just a typical Mario Hezonja game that we saw all season. He's played decent in the bubble for his standards, but like, it's not something that'll last. He'll always regress back to this and hurt us when we need an 8th guy to step up. So like, I don't know. At this point, man, I don't see how Nasir Little doesn't get a shot. He was dehydrated today, so I don't think he played because of that. But with how Mario's playing,
he was out.
Yeah,
he was out.
Even if he wasn't, Mario would have played over Nasir. And I just don't see how Nasir can't get a chance, you know? Put Nasir out there, trap. He flies around defensively, try and switch things up, play an energetic lineup. Put Nasir out there with Gary Trent Jr., with one of Dame and CJ. Put Collins out there, you know, hustle guys, and then maybe trap and try and fly around defensively. With Mario, just in a game like this, he provided us absolutely nothing in his 11 minutes. He definitely hurt us when he was on the court. Melo didn't shoot the ball well tonight with his only 9.7 rebounds, but I don't think he took bad shots. I swear all 4 of his threes were open for the most part, or I think there was
Yeah.
one at the end of a shot clock that was a tough contested one. Like, he played within the flow of the offense, and he's done a better job of that. So when he has nights like this where he doesn't shoot well, as long as he's just coming on good shots and within the flow of the offense, I'm fine with that. And I think that's what happened with Melo tonight. I still think his defense is actually okay-ish right now. Just because he lost that weight, like, he's energetic defensively. You know, he could improve, obviously, but he's so skinny that he's able to kind of fly around and have a lot of stamina, and he's definitely better than he was before the bubble.
I don't know if the guy's still in here, but on our previous stream that lagged out, someone was saying, you better not criticize Melo for missing that 3. And this is something that Tori and I have said time and time again. You miss a shot, you miss a free throw, you miss an open 3. Yeah, that sucks, but that's not – it's going to happen. He's not going to make every shot. He made a clutch 3 in this game that maybe outside of Gary making that 3 after missing 2 in a row was probably the biggest shot of the game. Just in terms of us, if he doesn't make that, I think we were down 4 at the time, and who knows if we win this game if he doesn't hit that shot. So, like, if you miss a 3 and you're open, I mean, that happens. It's not anything you can change, like scheme or analytical wise. Mm-hmm. I mean, he had an open shot, he took it, he missed it. So, like, that's why we weren't so hard on Dame when he missed free throws at the end of a game, because you see how much he can carry a team. He cannot do it 100% of the time. He's going to have games where he fails. Michael Jordan had plenty of games where he missed the shot at the end or blew a game because he couldn't score. Mm-hmm. It happens. No player is 100% perfect. So I was expecting Melo's last shot to go in just because of how clutch he has been on those threes during this run.
And he hit one in this game too. He did hit a clutch 3 before that too. So it was only 3 of the game.
So yeah, and Tori can attest to this because we were watching each other during this game, but like there was a point in this game where I don't know what the heck we were doing on offense. We just like didn't know what to do, and I was saying this is what you have Melo for. When your offense is just complete crap and you don't know what to do and you're getting double teamed. That's when you give it to Melo. He's a bucket getter. You have Melo to get you buckets in those situations. So, like, if you're not even giving the ball to Melo in this situation, it's frustrating. And like you said, he didn't shoot well, but, like, he didn't really force a lot of shots. A lot of those were, like, tip-ins. He had some offensive rebounds, stuff like that. So, like, yeah, I didn't feel like Melo played a bad game at all. Because he had a bad shooting game. And usually when you look at it and say he's 4 for 12, you're like, oh, that was a bad game for Melo, but I don't think it was.
Well, there's a difference. Like, I'm fine with Melo going 4 for 12 on good shot selection. I'm not okay with Melo going 4 for 12 on bad shot selection, right? You can shoot good shots and go 4 for 12, you know, that happens, you know. There's nothing else Melo can do, right? He's shooting the same shots that helped us win last game, you know, so he should be shooting, like, the shots he took tonight, he should be shooting those shots. He might have settled for 1, maybe 2, but, like, out of 12, like, considering how bad it was kind of earlier in the season, like, I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. So I thought he took good shots today, so 4 for 12, that's fine. That's completely fine. It's just all about, like, the shot selection, right? You can make all the right decisions. Sometimes shots don't go in. The problem is when you make the wrong decisions and shots don't go in, you need to be making better decisions. And if you're making the wrong decisions and shooting bad because of that, we will criticize those decisions here. So that's the thing, is like, too often it's been used as an excuse this year, just in a general term, in terms of, oh, we lost that game because the other team made shots and we missed shots. But it was like we were shooting bad shots and settling for bad shots, and our defensive schemes and our just defensive execution was giving up good shots. So it wasn't just, oh, they made shots, we missed shots. It was, we're not running the right scheme, we're not taking the right shots, we're not making the right decisions. So I always try and, you know, the law of averages will say you'll have a bad game, you'll have a good game. I always try and just focus on, okay, what can we decide to do better? In Melo's game tonight, I don't think he made bad decisions, so I'm not going to criticize him at all. If I was a Melo hater, I would be criticizing him. You know, people have called me a Melo hater all season long. But, I'm fine with it.
Melo had one of the few defensive possessions tonight where we actually it wasn't like a scheme or set up for him to do that, but he kind of read a good time to trap LeVert, got the ball out of his hands, and rotated correctly. Unfortunately, the other players on the team didn't rotate correctly, but he kind of went on his own one time and double teamed LeVert and got the ball out of his hands, which is still perplexing why we did not do that. We'll talk in depth about that in a few minutes, but
yeah. Well, the one time in the second half we did do that, it led to him bobbling it and then throwing it directly out of bounds. The one time we played up hard on a screen. So we're not going to go in depth on that now, but that's all that I did want to state that on that. While there is 170 people in here watching, the one time, we're lagging. Yep. Yep. Oh, we're back. Hey, the lag spikes are getting worse, or getting shorter, I think. So that's a positive. I think we're back. We're very disconjointed right now. What's up, Bruce? What's up, Clayton? All right, let's see if this lag will chill out.
I think it's working.
All right. Well, as long as the lag spikes are only that short, we're fine.
Yeah.
It's working on my end. So, I mean, we're doing our best with Comcast internet, Comcast has gotten spottier and spottier. Just from my experience and from a lot of people I know in their experience. I don't know if it's like that for you guys. Do you guys have Comcast? Has it gotten spottier? I swear their internet service has gotten worse and worse the past couple of years. So, yeah, we'll grind through it. But, yeah, I mean, the one time we did trap, it worked on Caris LeVert. We did let him get downhill too much in this game and get to his spots. And I told you guys last night that Caris LeVert loves playing against a drop pick and roll scheme, and he just ate it up today. Let's look at the Nets box score, because they had a couple guys go off. You had Caris LeVert with 37 points, 9 assists on 16 for 29 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3. That was really their only playmaker. I guess you could say Tyler Johnson is a playmaker, but like he's like a scorer. He's not a guy who really distributes or anything. So LeVert was their only playmaker, and we kept letting him get downhill towards our big because the way we were guarding the pick and roll, we were dropping the big guy back and letting Caris LeVert just go downhill at our big. And I told you guys last night over on our second channel, if you're not subscribed to that, by the way, there is a link in the description below. We will be streaming and previewing the Memphis Grizzlies series tomorrow over on our second channel. So make sure you go subscribe to that if you want to be there for that live stream. It's Blazers Uprise live in the description below. But I said last night over on that second channel during that live stream that Caris LeVert was going to eat up our drop pick and roll coverage, and that's what happened. And I wish we just threw a hedge out there more often, threw a trap out there more often, because from what I've seen, Caris LeVert tends to struggle with that type of stuff, So situational basketball, I think we just needed our defensive schemes and stuff just need to be a little bit more based on who we're going against, and try and certain players play better against certain coverages, certain players play worse against certain coverages, and we need to know that going into games, and then we need to run the best scheme for that player. A guy like Caris LeVert, I said last night, it's going to be a mistake dropping the big, and look at what he did to us. He almost willed them to a win, so...
Shout out to New012 for the $5 dono. He says, we don't need to trade anyone. We need a coach who can make adjustments and who can manage the roster better than Stotts.
Yeah, I mean...
Completely agree.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in on Stotts right now. Our pick and roll scheme, I did talk about that a little bit, but I'm not going to go in on it. Let's just look at who the Nets had performed today. You had Caris LeVert with that 37. You had Luau Cabarrot, who's been playing very, very well this bubble. He had 19 points, 8 rebounds. He's playing himself. I think he was on a two-way at one point this year, so he was like almost out of the league. He was a former first-round pick, and now he's playing his way into a contract for sure.
A 10-day, not a two-way, I think.
10-day. I think he started the season as a two-way, then got cut. I don't know. He had like a weird contract situation all year long. But like Luau Cabarrot is the guy who, like, if he was playing for us, he shouldn't be playing personnel, right? I had to throw that in here. But against us, he has 19 points, 8 rebounds, shoots the lights out of the ball. Tyler Johnson, who was picked up right before the bubble, he was a free agent. Nobody really wanted him. He was 7 for 13 and 2 for 4 from 3. I think his 5 other buckets had to come off mid-range. He kept taking handoffs and pulling up from mid-range and was knocking basically everything down. That was very frustrating because he's not a guy who's like efficient. You know what I mean? He has stretches where he misses a ton of shots, but he got hot against us, and it definitely helped them. Jared Allen was 5 for 8. He only went 4 for 9 from the free throw line, which was definitely very beneficial. He had 14, 11, and 4. Joe Harris was 9 for 14, only 1 for 4 from 3. So we let Joe Harris get 8 2-point shots in against us. And
Is
he's
that
like
a record for him, you think?
Probably for him to only have 1 3 and 8 2-point shots. Like, he's a 3-point shooter. I swear probably 50% of his makes at least come from the 3-point line. But he had 19 and 4 for them. So they shot 55 from the field, 55%. They shot 42% from 3, only 68% from the free throw line. So, but that's the thing. Very efficient game for them. They did turn over the ball more than we did. They had 14 turnovers. We only had 9. Yeah, this was just another one of those games where we needed 134 points to win. We had 134 last game against the Mavericks, and we had 134 tonight. And it does worry me, but we got to where we needed to go. So this was the best case scenario out of this 8-game bubble, which is crazy because like there's so many things that we could improve on, and there's so many things we're struggling with on defense right now. That, like, combined with the fact that we still got exactly what we wanted out of this 8-game restart, that's phenomenal. Like, It's kind of hard to remember. It's kind of hard to remember the position we were in going into this 8-game restart.
Yep.
3.5 back of Memphis.
What? 3.5 back of Memphis.
3.5 back out of the 8 seed.
2 and 6.
We went 6 and 2.
Going 6 and 2 just to squeak it out. We're kind of lucky that Jaren Jackson got hurt.
We're worried about the Pelicans, and that's crazy because they finished 4 games back of us. They went 2 and 6. Yeah,
did they win tonight or they lose?
They lost tonight. They finished 4 games back. They finished 4 games.
I didn't even look at that score because it didn't matter at all.
So that's the thing. We were really worried about them. We weren't worried about the Suns. We weren't worried about the Spurs, and those were the 2 teams on our heels. But let's just look at the standings. No more standing scenarios. It's going to be kind of nice to not have to break down standing scenarios anymore. Now it's pretty straightforward. We're in the playing game, which that's the first time ever seeing anything like that in an NBA standing sheet. PB, play. What does the B stand for?
I don't know.
PB.
Play-in bound or
play-in bound?
I don't know.
The glossary. Clinched play-in berth. Okay, play-in berth.
Oh, play-in berth. Okay,
that makes sense. But we finished the season 35 and 39. I feel like if we played out the rest of our schedule, we could have gotten to 500, which would have been cool.
Yeah.
But we did get this playing game. Sucks for Phoenix Suns fans, man. They went 8-0 and still couldn't get in. Just amazing run by them, though. Great job by Monty Williams. Definitely has changed my opinion of him as a coach with what he's done there in Phoenix. That team is not going to be a team you can walk over. It's going to be interesting to watch what they do this offseason because they definitely have some assets to throw around and that type of thing. So, now we have this playing. We got to beat Memphis 1 out of 2 games. They're without Jaren Jackson Jr., right? If you said Memphis was going to be without Jaren Jackson Jr. and struggling and on the bubble and we were going to get the 8th seed, I would have rather faced them than pretty much any of these teams, right? This is what we wanted going into today. We wanted Memphis. The thing is, Memphis played early and it was like, oh, I don't want to have to worry about like the season being over with this Nets game because I figured it was going to be close. I wanted it to be like, okay, if we lose, maybe we'd still be the 9th seed and still have the play-in, right? So it was like, on one hand, I was rooting for Memphis because if Memphis won, they got in the play-in, so that's who we'd be playing against if we won. But on the other hand, it created more stress where Caris LeVert has the chance to completely end our season. But yeah, so now we got the Grizzlies, and there was a lot of animosity between these teams. First game of the season. It'll be interesting to see if that carries over. What are you looking forward most from this 1 or 2 game series?
I am looking forward to the fact that we only have to win one of the 2 games.
Yeah.
So in case you guys missed it, they announced the playoff schedule, and we will be playing Tuesday night, the last game of the day, against the Lakers if we win one of 2 games against Memphis. So we need to win Saturday, in my opinion, and not risk having our season come down to a game like tonight. If we win, that game is at 11:30 in the morning Pacific time here. So if we win, we have the rest of that day. We have 2 full days off, and then almost the full day on Tuesday to get guys a little bit of rest, because we are one of the few teams who have played guys like 40 minutes a game, who haven't had a single game, like not even a quarter or a half, where we've been able to rest anyone, because every one of our games has been closer stuff. So like, and we've been playing an eight-man rotation most of the time. So like, we need that rest. Like, we need to come out and take care of business Saturday morning and get the job done, to get just some little bit of time off for these guys, because the playoff schedule is every other day. There's no like 2 or 3 days off in between games like a normal playoff schedule would be. It's every other. If you can imagine what Karis LeVert did to us tonight, like imagine LeBron and AD in those pick and rolls instead of Karis LeVert and Jared Allen. Like, we need some time. We need some time to practice and to rest up a little bit.
Yep. So as far as this playing game goes, and we will preview it more tomorrow on stream, but I actually like the way we match up with Memphis, especially with them not having Jaren Jackson Jr. They've been starting Anthony Tolliver at the 4, right? Anthony Tolliver. It's going to come down to Anthony Tolliver versus Mario Hezonja or some shit in a play-in game in the bubble in August. Imagine you said that at the start of the season. But, yeah, you have Memphis without Jaren Jackson Jr., who killed us in that first game. And John Morant is one of the few like high-profile players who I think drop scheme is like the best scheme to run against him. Because he's not a guy that likes pulling up from 3. He's not like a terrific mid-range shooter. He wants to go downhill, but he's not like a Karis LeVert who's 6'7", who has a bunch of length, who can like dribble up to the big and then score over him. You know what I mean? So Josh struggled against us that first game. And statistically, drop coverage works well against John Morant. So Stotts is going to run drop coverage, but this is actually like one of the few scenarios where it's like a player where it's like, okay, it makes sense to consistently run drop coverage. And I'm not a big fan of dropping the big back on pick and roll. But against Memphis, out of all the teams we could have played, it definitely would have worked best against Memphis, in my opinion, the scheme that Stotts runs. What do you think?
Yeah, can you imagine doing that against Booker?
Bro, yeah, that's why I was kind of rooting for Memphis to win today.
Booker's kind of like CJ, where he likes to shoot from. So, like, that would just... he would annihilate us. He would average like 40 over the weekend. And
we got a troll in the comment section. Charles Alexander says Blazers had to have the NBA rig the schedule to help the Blazers. Blah ha 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 ha. It won't work. Go Grizzlies. What are you talking about? We have tools and they rigged the schedules for the Pelicans, if anything. So yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. We actually had one of the hardest schedules in.
He's been trolling this whole time.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it until now. But yeah, no, you guys got to beat us twice in a row. Good luck with that. Without Jaren Jackson Jr., you couldn't even beat us with him. So you guys are going to need some luck. The only thing is they get out and run well, so we have to control the pace. We saw that in the first game where when we controlled the pace, we played well, and then when they got out and ran and forced turnovers and that type of thing, they went on their run. So I'm hoping that we can take care of business Saturday, because I don't want to have to worry about beating them on Sunday. If they beat us on Saturday, it's almost like getting the 8th seed didn't even matter. You know what I mean? Because then it just comes down to one game anyway. So I don't know. It's awesome that we got the 8th seed, though. Because I thought it was like an outside chance, right? And we ended up getting it. So now we just got to take care of business 1 out of 2 games, right? The Blazers, I think it will be easier for the Blazers to win 1 out of 2 games against the Grizzlies than it was for them to beat the Brooklyn Nets tonight. The Brooklyn Nets have been playing well. Jock Vaughn has done a good job with that team. The Grizzlies have been struggling. They played well tonight, but Milwaukee rested everybody. So we should be able to
2-6.
2-6. 2-6. And they almost beat us game 1. But Jaren Jackson Jr., he honestly might be better than John Morant. Just because, like, he good defender, too. Like, I love Jaren Jackson Jr.'s game. He still has a lot of weaknesses, like rebounding, and sometimes he's too soft in terms of his interior defense. But that guy's huge. So losing him definitely helped us. You don't want to see guys go down, but it definitely helped us get this A seed because they probably win an additional game with him. And then we're going against them with Jaren Jackson Jr. when we have to win 2 in a row, but that's the thing. We had bad injury luck all season long. So I'm not trying to hear it. Like, we had our bad luck all season long. So, yeah. So how are you guys feeling? I'll answer questions with chat. Eric, do you want to touch on something specific? Or?
Well, just get to a question real quick. How did y'all feel about Simons tonight? He played like a minute. I don't know. How many minutes did he play?
He took one bad shot in airball. Like, The one bad shot though, like
And that one shot, the one shot he took to the Blazers like to go 2-for-1, so he was just trying to get a quick shot off. That's not a good shot. Not like going 2-for-1 if it results in a shot like that. Like if it's Dame shooting a shot, it's usually a good strategy. But I didn't like that. It wasn't an air ball. It got blocked. It came up like halfway to the hoop. That wouldn't have happened if it didn't get blocked.
Yeah.
Like,
we're lagging a little bit. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We should talk about Dame a little bit too. Sorry, happening there here and there about they've been short. So, but Dame, man, I mean, like we haven't really talked about Dame so far this stream. It's just like what he does is just so like, it's almost like, oh, he only had 42 tonight. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. 42, bro.
Yeah.
Like in the Brandon Roy days, if Brandon Roy had 42, but oh my goodness, Brandon Roy had 42. With Dame, it's like, oh, he only had 42. He only had 42. He had, so that's 51, 61, 42. So the last 3 games, he's averaging a good 51 points per game. Like, that's insane, man. And he hit some insanely difficult shots today, and they were trapping him, getting the ball out of his hands. Like, if they ran the scheme that Dallas ran against us, Dame would have probably had 65. Like, Dame was so hot from 3. Like, he was shooting better from 3 today than he...
Like, in the backcourt.
Yeah, which was a good adjustment. It was a good adjustment. We struggled against it. I've always said, when teams are trapping you, like, it's hard for you to get comfortable, and sometimes it does give up wide open threes, but sometimes they're so open, the offense is so disconjointed, guys don't knock them down, and we saw that, because CJ had numerous open shots, Gary Trent Jr. had numerous open shots, and they missed some wide open threes. Let me give a quick shout out to Gary Trent Jr., though, because he missed 2 wide open threes in one possession, because we got the offensive rebound, kicked it back out to him, he missed another open 3, but then his next open 3 he shot it with 100% confidence. That's what you need from guys. If your job is to shoot the ball, shoot every open 3 with confidence, no matter if you've made or missed shots. So Eric pointed that out on the watch party, like he likes that Gary just has that unconditional confidence.
Yep, and that's what Beavis and Butthead had a $5 donation, and he said that almost that exact thing. This was the biggest moment Gary Trent Jr.'s career pressure-wise. He did okay. Now he's just got to get the jitters out of the way. But that's what you were talking about. Like a lot of players, especially second-year players, you miss a 3 wide open. Yeah, he got it back and got another 3, but
Okay, we're good. Good old lag, man. I hate it on a post-game stream. We've had good luck on post-game streams with internet. Normally the lag hits over on the second channel with like Blazers Uprise Live, but now it's just hitting on what should be the biggest post-game show of the season.
A lot of the post-game shows have it towards the end, and then we have to end them. Like the last post-game show we had to end.
So, I don't know. Blame Comcast. Go sue them. I don't know. I'll sue them for the millions of dollars that I was going to make off this post-game stream if it didn't lag. Dude, it's
because we're down to like 86 people versus we had almost 200 at one point.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's super frustrating. I mean, I'll maybe go look for a 30-foot Ethernet cord, but I'm not sure it's going to do anything, so... let's see here. Yeah, but what I was saying about Dame is just like that 3 he hit, that deep 3 he hit from the logo was insane. Yeah, I mean, I am sending a lot of data over the internet with the stream, with like the video feed and all that. All right, I mean, we're back, but then it's probably gonna lag again. That's just how it goes, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was good for a little bit. Shout out to the people who don't just click off immediately when it lags. You know, when I get out of this place, I'll have to invest in that like super consistent, expensive internet. I forget what it's called. But yeah, I'll have to figure something out so that we never have these issues again, because I hate them. Nothing worse than lagging, man.
So, real quick, Dionysus, I did not see your question. I saw you asking if I saw it, but I didn't see your actual question. And Caleb's asked this question a few times, if we think Dame's going to be the bubble MVP or if Booker's going to get it. Um, Charles Alexander, we will have a post-game stream, win or loss, over those two games. So I guess you have to subscribe because we will be streaming after both of those games. It's called a post-game show. So win or lose, we have a show.
Yes, sir.
Maybe the internet. D&I, since we talked about like off-season questions aren't really cool to talk about at the moment because like I don't know, the season still has a lot of ups and downs to it possibly, and we don't know. A guy like Whiteside tonight had a great game who we have completely written off. So yeah, who knows? We'll talk about off-season stuff later on.
We will have a ton of time to talk about off-season stuff. We will have a website that will be launched to talk about off-season stuff. Like, we will have you guys fully covered on the off-season. Just gotta be patient, because I've gotten like Twitter DMs talking about draft prospects and stuff. And right now I'm just like not focused on the draft. I'm not focused on the off-season. We have to see what we do this. If we make a postseason run, that could change what we do this off-season anyway. So let's just focus on the ride. Focus on the ride right now. So,
because I mean, just look at the last season with Aldridge. You know, if West doesn't get hurt and things don't play out the way they do, we like end the season with a thud. Who knows if all those guys stay, and we try to like build upon that team versus just blowing it up and building around Dame at that point. But yeah. And then Caleb had asked
apparently. What? What'd Caleb ask?
But after Caleb's question, this one, it is undoubtedly Dame is the MVP of the bubble.
Just ridiculous. All right, I think we're... Nope. I love it.
The stream ended for me for a minute, and then I came back, I think. No. So...
I mean, I'm just frustrated. You know, I'm trying not to get frustrated, so... Oh, man. No. I think we're good. For now. That's like a jinx, bro. I think we're good. That like jinxes it into lagging again. That's... Like, it's not my internet. I gotta move out, Dionysus. Once I move out, I'll invest in like super... Or I'll try and invest in super high-powered internet. I just... DoorDash isn't paying as well as it was when the pandemic was more... I mean, it's still a huge issue, but more people were ordering, so now it's like not as... Like, I wanted to move out by now, but it's not doing as well, so I have to work even more, and it's tough with the streams and that stuff. I'm working like 10 hours a day and then watching a Blazer game and then streaming like 2-3 hours a day right now, so... Google Fiber is what I was planning on investing in, but... I can't wait till the day where this isn't a problem. We don't have to worry about this, and I'll have a studio and all that, you know? What's crazy is this is still our first season doing this. Which, it feels like we've been doing this forever, bro. It feels like we've been doing this forever. But there will be a day where these aren't issues. So, we've been killing it this year.
So Matthew, you asked also, does anyone know what the roundtable member perk mean?
Oh, yeah. So what I was planning on doing with that, for you guys that get that perk, I will have you on a Blazers Uprise live show. And I was thinking about either doing like playoff predictions, like having a playoff bracket that you guys give me and I can whip those up into graphics, or doing like awards or something. But basically we'll have you guys and we'll have your audio on the stream. So before I was just saying if you donate $10 a month, that it would be you'd get to guest appear on an entire podcast, but now I'm doing it if it's $10 a month, we'll have one stream a month where we'll have like multiple people guest and have like multiple people in here. So like just multiple people in a Skype call. I figured that would be a pretty cool way to do it, and we can all like focus in on one thing, if that makes sense. So all the other perks I will get to this month. Took care of the watch party today. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed losing my mind with Eric and with you guys, and you guys got to witness that. I will, maybe if I have time, which I wish I had more time. I wish there was 48 hours in a day instead of 24, but it would be fun to like at least whip up a couple of the clips in that and post them for you guys. Especially that last possession, man. Especially that last possession. So... But yeah, I mean, this is still our first season though, so I mean, we're still. That's what's crazy is like we've been going. Did it really just end? Why? Yeah, and on my end, I'm not sure for you. For you.
Yep.
Why? I'm not even lagging. Like it ends. It doesn't even make sense.
Wait, it's back.
It doesn't make sense. Why? I don't understand that, bro. I don't understand that. No, I didn't end the stream, Alvaro. Has it done that before? I think once.
We. Yeah, down to 40 some people watching.
All right. Well,
if you refresh, we're fine now. There's no lag, but
nothing we can really do. Try and let Eric host the stream. Yeah, I mean, I did want to get off at like 10:20, 10:30. And if it keeps having trouble, I'll probably just get off now. We will have like a preview for you guys tomorrow. Hopefully the internet's going to be better. Because we could go in depth on a lot of issues we face today, but it's like all the same stuff that we've said before. You know what I mean? Like, it's all the same stuff we've said before. It's dropping the pick and roll, dropping the big on a pick and roll against guys that love playing against a drop scheme. It's bad switching. And that's really it. Like, offensively, I can't really complain. We didn't really do the best against a trap, but other than that, like, Dame went off and other guys played well.
Malcolm, we did talk about Beavis and Butthead's dono. If it lagged out during that time, sorry, but
thank you for the dono, man. It might have been lagging out when we talked about it, but we always get to every dono. So if we miss it, then definitely let us know.
Beavis and Butthead, if you missed what we said about it, just ask the question again. I forgot. Was it about the one about Gary Trent Jr. or did you have another one?
I think it was the one about Gary Trent Jr. You're all good, bro. Hey, Malcolm, I appreciate it, actually, because we don't want to miss donuts.
Yeah, what's funny is we talked about Gary Trent for several minutes. Yeah.
Your comments started us talking about Gary Trent Jr. Maybe we were lagging or something. No, you're all good. Because we definitely try and get to every dono and thank all you. You know, especially when you guys are donating to a stream that's like half lagged out. You know what I mean? So.
But yeah, what we're saying is it takes an incredible shooter to miss two shots in a row like that, and then to have the confidence to shoot that third one. Usually you compound it if you don't have the confidence. So for a second-year player to hit that shot after you just missed two completely wide-open threes, that shows a lot about Gary Trent's makeup as a player and why he's going to succeed as a player in this league.
100% agree. You know, like we kind of used to complain about like he's so confident, he shoots such bad shots, and you know in summer league and stuff in preseason, like he's not a good enough shooter to shoot as many shots as he does. But now it's like he's a 42% 3-point shooter on the season. It'll be interesting to look at these guys' stats like after the season just to see where they finish because now it's technically done. But like that level of confidence, if you're a good enough shooter, is a good thing. If you're not a good enough shooter, it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Well, so it's like a fine line. And Gary Trent Jr. is definitely a good enough shooter now that it's a good thing.
You said he was 4 for 10, right?
4 for 10, 40%.
Which is 40%, which is excellent. But, like, if you just told me, did Gary Trent have a good shooting night or not from three tonight, I would have probably said, it wasn't great.
Kind of got spoiled by how well he shot to start the bubble.
Yeah, I know. Like, he's not going to shoot 60%. So, like, when he has a game shooting 40% from three, we're like, oh, man, that sucks. But, like, if he shot 40% from three with good defense, that's exactly the kind of player we need to pair on this roster with some of our other guys. I felt like he didn't have a great defensive game today, but he's definitely improving and one of the best defenders we have on the roster right now. And, you got to love that a second-year guy was in the clutch and was able to knock down that three after missing some.
Yep.
And we need it because they ran basically a trapping zone with two guys back on the blocks and three guys like hanging up front just watching Dame. So we needed every bit of those shots.
Go ahead. I accidentally opened Photoshop.
We need guys who can hit shots out of that, and they completely took Dame they basically said, Dame, you're not going to beat us. He still managed to get that 40-foot shot off when the defense was sleeping. But after he hit that shot, and it's not only because that shot, he walked into it, he had perfect form and stuff like that. I'm more impressed with the ones where he's coming off a pick and he's like totally like going one way and like gets his body straight in the air and managed to throw it towards the hoop, and somehow it's like right on target. Like those ones are amazing. But yeah, Gary Trent, we need his 3-point shooting. It's not realistic to expect him to shoot any better than 40%, as 40% is kind of like the benchmark for the elite shooters in this league. Obviously, it would be great if he shot closer to 45%, but like it's very rare that you have players that can do that, especially in their second year. So I'll take it from Gary. And as for the MVP stuff, I got cut off, I guess, but I was saying Dame is the MVP of the bubble.
100%.
But I could see them giving it to Devin Booker just because they went 8-0, and then as kind of a consolation of not making the playoffs, which would kind of suck for Dame. But
it is pretty meaningless, so it's like whatever. I'm not really tripping about it, but it's almost a meme. You know what I mean?
Right.
The half-court shot, though, yeah, Eric's reaction to that was golden. That watch party. Near Zero, man, I posted the link. We didn't see you in there, bro. We didn't see you in my watch party. I posted the link for you guys. If you're a channel member, make sure to like keep track of the community tab, because I post stuff just for you guys in there. So like the link for you guys, because that's the only way I could have gotten in contact with you. But yeah, Eric's reaction to that was beautiful, man. I was just like amazed, like speechless, like wow, and Eric lost his mind. So it was like perfect. But yeah, I mean, Dame's just insane. Like I don't know, I didn't watch Clyde, so I'm probably not the best to make the statement. I wasn't alive when Clyde played, but like I feel like Dame's the best player there ever. Like I feel like he's the most talented player that's ever played. Like Clyde didn't drop a 60-point game for us ever. Dame has 3 in one season. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you feel about this argument, because I know you've been kind of like on the fence, but
it's so hard to compare, like, especially points, because the game was just so much different back then. There was so much less reliant on the 3-point shot, and also like you could basically body people and tackle them, and it was like barely a foul sometimes. Like, but you could use both hands to hold people from driving and stuff like that. And Clyde still averaged, in the high 20s, almost 30 points a game some seasons. So it's tough to compare just pure scores. But then it's also tough to compare because Clyde was a shooting guard. Dame's he's a scoring point guard, but he does facilitate the offense, and that part of his game has gotten a ton better. So, yeah, it's really hard to compare the two. But Clyde was an elite player too. But they're both really close.
I will say this might be the best season the Blazers ever had, because he averaged 30 and 8. I don't know. Statistically, it's the best season.
Yeah.
I wonder if he reached 40% from 3. I'm going to have to do the math now, because that would be cool. Because these are like, now his stats for the season are official. So every time people go back and look year by year, which like maybe other people don't care about this stuff, me and Eric are stat heads. Let me pull up the box score from today's game, because he was 39.7% from 3 going into this game. And how well he shot, he might be at 40% now. The stats aren't updated on Basketball Reference, so I'm going to have to do the math myself. But he was 8 for 14 tonight. Going into this game, he was 262 and 660. So he ended 270 and 674. Let me do the math right here. 270 divided by... Wait, no. Yeah, 270 divided by 674. 40%. He shot 40% from 3 for the season for the first time in his career, which is a cool milestone to hit. Nice. So,
he was insane this year, man.
Yeah.
What a freaking season, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't, because the people that I'm going to talk about, but it's like, oh, Dame's 26. He can't get any better. He's going to he's leveled out. Like he'll never be better than he was this season. And then the next season he adds something to his game and he's better. And then they're like, oh, okay, well that's the best he can possibly be. He's not gonna get better. And then like the next season he's even better than that. And the dude just turned 30 and he had the best season of his life. And it's not just like, oh, he had a great season or something, like he just got hot shooting the ball. He's doing like insane things on the basketball court and like completely changing the game. Like, name another player you have to guard beyond half court right now with two people. And I don't want to make this about coaching, but if you told me that every time down the court you would have the other team with two players on one of your guys, and it would be a 4-on-3 mismatch, I don't know how you cannot take advantage of that every single time or most of the time down the court. And that's something that has plagued us since the Pelican series about when teams like this take Dame out of the lineup, how are we going to respond to that? We're going to see it in the playoffs against the Lakers because they don't have a single defender that can stop Dame. LeBron might try at times, but that's a tough matchup for LeBron. I'm not saying LeBron isn't like a good defender. He's a great defender. It's just Dame's a problem for him with how quick he is.
Yeah.
So
they're going to trap him with Anthony Davis, if that happens.
Yeah. And we'll see if we've adjusted since Anthony Davis trapped us in the Pelican series, because I'll tell you what, LeBron and Anthony Davis is going to be harder to go against for Dame than Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis. So we'll have to see if he can adapt. I'm hoping that we have some sort of game plan. I said this on the stream, the watch party. I'm perplexed that we don't have a way to get Dame an easy shot. In this game, in the second half, look at all the threes he made. The one open one he had was on a broken offensive rebound where the defense all chased the ball, and I forgot who grabbed it, Nurk or someone, just happened to grab the ball and kick it out to Dame and had a wide open three. Other than that, he had to hit basically a half-court shot, and like he had that fadeaway like step back in the corner. He had like two running three-pointers off a pick, like where he had to stop on a dime and contort his body to shoot a three. Like, it's just crazy. We can't get this man like one good look off our offense. Like, run a play with him off ball, coming off like three screens or something, and get him a three, like go in the opposite corner or something. Like, you can't just let him dribble the ball up into the double team every time if we don't have a way to combat that with our offense. It's just like, oh, okay, what do we do now? Oh, let's just try a pass in here and then see what happens. And like, we need a way to exploit those. Like, I can't believe we do not have a way to just absolutely abuse teams for doubling him 50 feet from the freaking basket. Like, that's insane to me.
We
like,
rely too much on jump shots.
I don't understand. Happens. Yeah, and you pointed this out. Like, we got some open threes out of it after a while, like after about like 20 possessions of it. But like at that point, we were missing all our threes. Like, at some point, like, get some action going to the basket, get an easy dunk, because that's when Nurk got that dunk. That's what kind of like everyone got pumped and like we got back into it, and then people were attacking the basket a little more and not settling for threes as much. And it's just frustrating. I don't know. It's gonna cost us this season, and we're lucky it hasn't cost us the season already. I mean, we're 1 point away from it costing us the season now, between that and our defense. But it's just frustrating.
I just posted a tweet that will guaranteed get 100 likes. I posted the typical, Blazer Twitter fan page tweet. I just tweeted out Dame's final season stats if any of you guys want to go see. 30 points per he not only did he surpass 30 points per game, or like get 30 points per game, 8 assists per game, 40% from 3, 46 per, like, statistically this is such an impressive season, and statistically with his game today he reached like 3 cool milestones. He got 8 assists per game, which he never did before. He was only above, I don't even know if he got above 7 per game. Let me look at it right now. He had barely gotten 7 No, wait, let me per 36.
Oh, Alvaro, we've mentioned this several times, but Ariza cannot come back. He's done. But it's not even we're talking about.
Dame had never gotten 7 assists per game before this year. He got 8 assists per game. Dame had never gotten he had gotten 27.0 points per game was his highest season. That was a couple of seasons ago. He got 30. His highest 3-point percentage was his second year at 39.4. His highest since then was only 37.5. This year he got 40%. So, like, he improved a lot this year compared to where he was, like, the past, like, 2-3 seasons. And he was amazing before this year, right?
Yeah.
And he took it to, like, a noticeably higher level. He set a career high in 2-point percentage. His career high before this season was 50.1. Going into tonight's game, he was 52.3% from 2, right? Statistically, by far his best season. Statistically, just looking at it, just stats, you know, obviously back in the day it was harder to score and that type of thing. So, but just looking at the stat line, I don't know if has a Blazer ever gotten 30 points per game?
No, this is the first time.
Let alone with 8 assists, shooting 40% from, like, statistically, this is just amazing game, right? Like I remember, I don't know, man, like, just the fact that we have somebody score 30 points per game for us it's wow, you know, it's wild, because that's such, like, a hard thing to do night in, night out, especially as efficiently as he did. So, like, all the people that say Kyrie, Russ are in the conversation with Dame. Dame is closer to Steph than anybody else is to Dame. Like, Dame is, and honestly, like, talent-wise, I think Dame's in Steph tier. I'll make that argument. I'm not going to say he's better, but I think he's in the same class. Steph benefits from, like, the system he runs in, the teammates he has.
I don't think people, I mean, obviously, like, most of the people in this chat right now, so I'm not speaking to you guys, but most people do not realize how many things are stacked against Dame, and he still does this kind of stuff. It's incredible. Like tonight, this man wills us to victory in a game where we struggled to do anything against the freaking Brooklyn Nets. And this guy single-handedly overcomes a horrendous defensive plan, a terrible ability to run any kind of offense or sets or anything. This guy just takes over and makes the most incredible shots, and he sets up his teammates. He does everything, man. He had that big steal, so they got a rebound, and LeVert was coming up the court, and he freaking laid out on the ground and stole the ball from LeVert and got the ball. Like, this guy is a freaking winner, and he is dragging this team at his will against the coaching, against some of the players. You know, CJ's hurt, banged up. Like, he is just amazing, and we're so lucky to have him. And it's I can't say enough good things about Dame. Dame is the man. I don't care if those people who think we have a Dame agenda. We should have a Dame agenda. Anyone who's a Blazer fan needs to have a Dame agenda, because Dame is the freaking franchise, and he's carrying us right now, and it's unreal.
I gotta get a rebuttal within the Aaron Fentress. We are actually going to start arguing about scheme and stuff, man. Every media member. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, if he was in Steph's position, Dame would be getting 35 points per game. The fact that he got 30 points per game in this position, like, talent-wise, I don't know that Steph is better, right? Like, if you, like, take everything into account, the things that you just listed that are stacked against Dame, and the things that help Steph do what he does, I mean, you look at Steph at the start of this season, kind of in the similar position to Dame. He struggled. I'm not sure Steph is more talented. If you replace Steph with Dame, they still win the same amount of championships. Like, but people say, oh, well, Steph has rings. Well, okay, are we talking about the individual player or the player in their team? You know what I mean? If we're, like, legacy, obviously Steph Curry has a better legacy because he has the accolades, right? And accolades count. But if you're just talking about individual talent, I can't put Steph above Dame anymore. And I've never been biased. Like 2 months ago, I would say, Steph's still a little bit better. Like, just after seeing what I've seen in this bubble, like, I can't put Steph above Dame in terms of just the flat-out individual talent department. Like, Dame is Dame's a top 5 quality player. He is a top 5 quality player. He is for sure a top 8 player in the league. But, like, I was telling Eric this during the watch party stream. Anthony Davis wouldn't be... Like, if Anthony Davis was the leader of this team instead of Damian Lillard, we would have been eliminated 2 games ago. Anthony Davis would, like, yeah, he'd help our defense a little bit, but so much of our issues are, like, scheme-based and that type of thing. We have good defensive bigs. We already have good defensive bigs. He would not do anywhere near enough offensively to carry this team. I mean, you look at Anthony Davis in New Orleans, right? Any little bit of adversity knocked them out of the playoffs, by far, with Anthony Davis there. I put Damian Lillard above Anthony Davis. When it comes to James Harden, Dame's now more efficient than him. Dame, I think, is a little better playmaker, right? Harden has always had shooters around him, like a phenomenal amount of shooters around him. And Harden gets these scoring numbers just because he gets the love of the officials, right? So, like, a guy like that, I don't put him above Dame anymore either. I put Dame in, like, that top tier guys right now. Maybe a little bit below, like, the Kawhi, Giannis, LeBron. But anybody else, I think, is fair game for a comparison.
And, I mean, back to your Anthony Davis thing, that guy made the playoffs 2 times out of 7 years and with the Pelicans, just making the playoffs, let alone, like, carrying a team like this happened. And, yeah, they swept us, which sucked, but like, they lost in the next round after that, and that was his only series win to his career in his whole career right now. Dame's got what, four series wins.
4, yeah. And the only one Anthony Davis got was the one that Stotts completely botched, so against the Pelicans, which even Stotts defenders will say that, so that just is what it is with that. Like, that's the thing, man. Dame's just insane. And watching this game, it's like, this is how it must feel to watch, like, the best player in the world. You know what I mean? Like, right now, he's playing like the best player in the world. He was the best player in this bubble. Like, it's awesome to have a player of just such a high caliber like that.
And Beavis had a $2 donation. Thank you, sir.
Sorry,
it says, that steal and logo shot embodies what Lillard is. Yep. I mean, the guy's leader. And you saw him, like, he got matched up several times. Like, he could try to get posted up, and he had good defense one play. He's played great defense during this stretch as well. And that's the other thing, too. Like, you can see how hard it is for Dame with our defensive scheme and lack of defenders around him, at least on the perimeter, how much effort he has to exert on the defensive end, and he's trying to step up and accept those challenges and try to shut down some of the best players on the other team at times. And most people, that would, like, completely take them out of their game on offense, having to exert that much energies on top of playing 40 plus minutes a game. Like, oh, this guy's doing everything on the court. Like, I can't believe this guy, man. He's just unreal.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's just, like, he shoots that, he pulled up from that half court almost, and it's like it's amazing, but, like, at the same time you think it's going in because Dame shot it, like, so it's like a weird mix of emotions. Like it's not surprising that he made it, but it's like an unbelievable shot at the same time. It's like, holy crap. Like, it's weird that he makes those kind of shots seem that ordinary,
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, there's so many shots. Like, there's a couple shots that me and Eric were like, oh, because they were so difficult. But then Dame hits them, and it's like, yeah, he hits those. You know what I mean? And, like, the thing is like, it's hard to get.
There was a time where our offense completely fell apart, and Dame just hit some unreal shots, and that, like, it kept us in the game. There was a time when Brooklyn cut the lead down, and you were like, watch, in a couple minutes we'll be down 7, and sure enough, we were down 7. I think we were down 10 at one point. Maybe not, but 7 at the worst. But yeah, it's just incredible. Yep. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, just people talking about how Terry Stotts did a good job. I mean, Terry Stotts coached a bad game today. Like, he didn't coach a good game today. He shouldn't have dropped against Caris LeVert. Like, let's just call a spade, right? I mean, we're past the intro where we're being all positive. Like, I told you guys last night, you can't drop against Caris LeVert. He's their only shot creator. You can't let him get to his spots in the mid-range. That's where he wants to go. So why would you let him go where he wants to go? The one time we hedged him, he bobbled it and then threw it out of bounds to nobody. The one time we hedged it, it was maybe like a little bit of a trap. I don't know. But like the one time we played hard on the screen, he struggled. He freaking fumbled the ball, then threw it to a spot that there was no nets within like 15 feet of. Why won't we try that more? We did try it once in the first half, and our rotations were terrible, and it gave up an open three. But that's not a problem with the trap. That's a problem with the rotations, right? But just because we gave up one open three doesn't mean we shouldn't try and do it. Like, that's one possession. Our drop, pick, and roll scheme right now is giving up 130 points per game. So all we need to do for hedging and trapping to be better is to give up a little bit less than 130 points per game, right? I just wish I could see it for like a long period of time against a team other than the Houston Rockets. Against the Houston Rockets, it works, right? Why don't we play the same defense against James Harden that we do against... Why don't we do it against Karis LeVert? If it works against James Harden, it'll probably work against Karis LeVert. Like, that's what I don't understand. Then the people come out here and say personnel. It's like, no, it's a scheme thing. I told you guys last night that Karis LeVert struggles against hedges, struggles against traps, but loves playing a drop, pick, and roll scheme. These big shot-creating wings that can pass the ball and crafty inside and a good mid-range shooter, Luka is another one of those guys. Those types of guys love playing against a drop, pick, and roll scheme. And I said that about Karis LeVert, and look what happened. I knew he was going to go off today because I knew what scheme we were going to run.
Yep.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So, and I was telling the watch party stream this all game long. Like, we got to stop. We got to change things up. And the thing is, when the defense is so bad, you should be trying different things out no matter what, right? You don't do the same thing when it's broken, right? It's just like Stotts is too... It's like Stotts has resigned this personnel. But, if you're a coach, you're supposed to try and come up with something better than 130 points per game, no matter who you're throwing out there on the court, right? You still have NBA players. Honestly, our personnel is not that bad. We have normally...
Nope. That's an excuse.
Yeah, we have two good defensive starting big men. We have a good defensive big man off the bench. Damian Lillard's defense is not below average. He is an average defender, right? CJ McCollum clamped up in the fourth quarter. He had 3 steals today, right? He struggled on multiple possessions defensively. He's still a below average defender, but it's not like he's like Trae Young bad. And then Carmelo Anthony has been better defensively in this bubble. Individually, in terms of our starting lineup, I don't think anybody's been individually bad. It's that our scheme is bad. It's that as a collective whole, our team defense is bad, and that's largely responsible. The coach is largely responsible for that, primarily responsible for our team defense, right? Because you can point to personnel for individual defensive flaws, but individual defense isn't our issue. It's not our issue. It's the fact that we switched multiple games in a row and had teams keep exposing our mismatches and exploiting it. It's because we drop the big against a guy like Luka Doncic or Karis LeVert, and then those guys love playing against that scheme, so they go off. It's that type of stuff. You had Damian Lillard on a JJ Redick podcast say that he doesn't understand why teams run drop, pick, and roll, and he loves playing against it, yet that's the same exact scheme that we run. Dame isn't going to come out publicly and criticize Stotts. He's not going to do it. That's as telling it, I don't know. I don't see how Dame can be all-out support of Stotts beyond just loyalty if he thinks running pick and roll scheme is bad, or running drop pick and roll scheme is bad, and that's what we do, right? That was an indictment of Stotts to me. The fact that Dame says teams shouldn't run drop pick and roll, and that's what we run, right? But he's not going to come out and say, oh, well, we shouldn't run drop pick and roll scheme, but Terry keeps running it. You know what I mean? And Dame knows his place too. People say, well, Dame should say something to Stotts, but Dame's not that type of guy, right? Dame respects Stotts too much. Stotts has been the only coach he knows, right?
And this is what makes Dame the true GOAT and the true leader, is that if we would have lost this game, Dame would have blamed himself for not doing enough. After scoring 42 points on that efficiency on 22 shots, he would have said, this was my bad. I had it. I should have led this team to victory. And
would he have been wrong? Yes, because he had 42 points.
Yes. And that's the problem. Do you think Stotts would have been like, oh, you know what? We had this game. We should have won, but my defensive scheme on Karis LeVert was really poor. I should have tried something else. Stotts never says that
Stotts
crap.
never takes accountability. The thing is, a lot of good head coaches take accountability in a post-game news conference. Popovich does it. You have guys like Brad Stevens that'll do it. You have guys like Budenholzer. I've heard Budenholzer do it, right? And these are coaches that I don't listen to anywhere near as much as Stotts, and I've heard them do it. I can't remember specifically any time where Stotts has ever taken accountability in a post-game news conference, and you have a large section of the fan base that thinks Stotts can do no wrong. Stotts could only run 2 guys back on defense, and there's people out there that say, oh, well, that's just personnel. The other 3 just need to run back on defense, while Stotts is sitting here in the huddle saying, oh, You two, you're the only ones who run back. You know what I mean? Like, that's an extreme example, but that's basically how I feel like things are right now. Like, switch up your pick and roll scheme. Like, the thing is, I just don't see how people think he's some. I mean, like, you're gonna have a great offense when you have Dame playing like this, right? Like, this offense isn't because of anything Stotts is doing. It's primarily isolation and pick and roll. It's always been. And you have great isolation pick and roll scorers, so like, okay, Stotts knows the strengths, but like, you can always run isolation and pick and roll. Where are the sets for the first 2/3 of a possession where you try and get an easy shot, and then, okay, if that doesn't work, you can easily set up a pick and roll or isolation and get the shots that we normally get. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. We don't have a cross-screen set for Hassan. It would have been perfect to run one during this game because they were, for a stretch, guarding Hassan with, like, Justin Anderson and Wawu Cabarro, and there was a period of time where, like, Joe Harris was on Nurkic. Where's a lob set for a big, like a lob play for a big? If you have a 6'7" guy on a 7-footer, you should be able to easily execute a lob play for a big, a back screen lob or something. You know what I mean? But we don't do that. We don't, like, have plays to get our big guys good position in the post, right? If we want to post them up, they run down the court and we try and directly throw it into them and they get pushed out where they catch the ball 15 feet away from the rim. So, like, offensively, I just don't see how Stotts is a good head coach. And then defensively, I think he's maybe the worst head coach in the league. Like, we just run one scheme and don't adjust, and we just always run one scheme. Like, we just drop the big, and then whenever we change it up, it's like, okay, we're going to switch everything, which is even worse because we'll have like 2 7-footers in the game, but switching them onto guards. So that's what I don't understand. Like, I get it if you like Stotts, all right? You can like Stotts. You can think he's done a good job, but I don't see how people think it's insane that people think he's not doing a good job, right? Like, you can like Stotts and think he's doing a good job and also respect the fact that, you know what, there's definitely some serious problems with our defense. These guys might have a point. It's not insane for people to blame Stotts for our defensive problems. Like, you can respect the differences in opinions. But, like, I was just on Twitter now because I see people say, dang, I think it's so insane that people think Stotts isn't doing a good job or stuff like that. And it just makes me cringe. It just doesn't make sense, you know? So, I don't know. That's my rant on Stotts.
So, before I get to my main point, I'll just go in. Yeah, when Whiteside was in the game, he was 6 for 6 one point, and Justin Anderson was guarding him. Do we run a single play for him to get the ball? Do we post him up once? Do we, like you said, set a cross screen or have him go seal his man near the basket or something and just dump it into him for an easy shot? The man shot over 60% from the field this season and was 6 for 6 in this game. They had no big guy. Like, just have him start at the free throw line, do that little Aldridge spin and lob it up to him and let him get the ball. Like, how do we not take advantage of having Whiteside not missing from the field and we can't get him the ball? Most of his points came off offensive rebounds or like little passes near the hoop that weren't designed for him to get the ball. It's just so frustrating. Like go to your strengths. Like, create mismatches and use those to your advantage. We had Kurek starting off this game on Nurk, and I know he missed some easy ones, but we weren't trying to like feed him the ball to get him going. They were more like giving him the ball in positions because he was just open near the free throw line, and that's not a good spot for Nurk because he's kind of halfway in between not being able to make a good pass on a back cut because he's too close to the hoop, but he's not good at those little mid-range like 10-foot shots yet. So it's just like and he doesn't really have the handles to like create off the dribble. So, we just put him in the worst positions. But as far as the defense goes, and this is the thing I'm going to come back to time and time again until it changes. If your argument is that we do not have the personnel, then what is your excuse for never changing the defensive strategy? Why would you stick to the same defensive strategy if you do not have the personnel for that defensive strategy? It makes no sense. No sense. That is not coaching. That's just, nothing I can do. I don't have the personnel. It's your job to match your personnel to the defensive scheme. And if you don't have the personnel to run your defensive scheme, then change it up. We've seen it against Houston. It works when you change it up. If you changed it up, if you went through this whole season and every game you treated like the Houston Rockets game and it worked or it didn't work, and we had a situation where it was like, okay, we had a good defensive plan, it didn't work, or we just don't have the personnel. That's when you can blame personnel. That's when you do that. That's personnel. If you try everything, like you throw the freaking kitchen sink at them and it doesn't work out. Like if we would have tried like double, triple teaming LeVert, he still went off for 37. Or like, he ended up kicking out the shooters and like he abused our double team because like he was just that good at passing, and they were like Joe Harris just went off for like 10 threes or whatever. Or Jared Allen was like a huge lob threat and had like 30 points because every time we double teamed him, he just lobbed it up to Jared Allen or whatever. Like, fine. Then you can say, like, at least we tried something, and it maybe it's the personnel. Like, he's trying all these things. Nothing is working. I mean, what more do you want him to do? He tried this, he tried that, he tried this, and none of it worked. Maybe you can start blaming the personnel. And I even mentioned a couple of times where we had good defensive position and they just made a tough shot tonight. That's going to happen. No, you're not going to ever hold a team to 0 points. Like, it's stupid. But, like, it's so insane to me that you can go into a game. This is now, 4 games in a row where we've said, do not drop the big, do not sag, do not try to, like, switch picks. And we've done it every game, haven't really tried other than maybe like one possession a game to switch it up. And that's all we're doing. Like, we're not doing it. And then I have these like morons telling me, oh, well, you can't just switch up the defense in the middle of a season, blah, blah, blah. We had freaking 2 months to prepare a new defense because the other defense wasn't working all year. And we've seen this same defense for 8 years with Terry Stotts. And it only works when he has like the greatest personnel to fit it. That means that your defensive scheme is shit. Like it's crap. And you need to switch it up. And how many times have we said on this program, it's not about running the perfect defense. It's about mixing up your coverages. You need to be able to go to different things. So when you face a guy like Caris LeVert, you're not completely stunned on what to do because you don't run anything different and you have to switch or you have to save the big because that's all you know how to do. You have to try something different.
Well, here's my thoughts on that. The one time in the second half we did throw something different out on Caris LeVert, it completely messed him up mentally to the point where he almost dropped the ball and then he threw it directly out of bounds because he wasn't prepared for that. It shocked him because he was so used to us just dropping the big and him just being able to dribble off the screen down to a spot like 10 to 15 feet away from the basket and do something with the ball. The one time we played him hard, he was like, oh, what the hell? You know what I mean? So, like, that's the thing. It's like, you switch things up. You keep guys off balance. You make guys uncomfortable. They don't know what they're going to see, right? And then there's other schemes that would work better against a guy like Caris LeVert, right? The trap we run against James Harden works, right? And they have better shooting than the Nets. So why wouldn't we run that trap against Caris LeVert, who, one, would probably handle it worse. Two, the Nets have less shooting to exploit it. Like, why wouldn't we try it? At least for just, like, 3, 4, 5 minutes. If we're going to give up 130 points in a game, why don't we try running a trap for 3, 4, 5 minutes? Okay, if we run it for 5 minutes and the defense isn't any better, then like, okay, at least we tried to do something different. It's just like when something's broken, you don't just keep pounding your head into a brick wall and just settle for giving up 131, 132 points a game. You don't do that. You don't just, there's nothing we can do. I'm going to just keep banging my head into the brick wall until I pass out because we're giving up 130 points per game. You know what I mean? No, you try something different. Like if Stotts tried a bunch of different schemes and tried to do everything he could defensively, and we still were giving up 130 points per game, it would probably be due to the personnel, you know? Then that might be a justified argument, but it's not when Stotts just runs one scheme, okay? Because the small sample size that we have running other stuff, we've seen that it works. The one play in the second half, we saw it worked. We forced a turnover and honestly didn't even have to play that good of a defense. Caris LeVert just shit the bed the one time we did it in the second half. And when we do it against the Rockets, it works.
And you and I proved that the Terry Stotts is full of crap too, because he said, oh, you can't do it this way because it doesn't work. It gives up a wide open three every time. And we went back and showed the exact play he was talking about. And we messed up that defensive coverage on that play and Dame fell over. Yeah. And that's what he's basing his whole, ability to change a defense on.
And the thing is, we did trap in the first half, and we completely messed up the backside rotations. That's the thing. Like, if we trap and mess up the backside rotations one time, like, okay, maybe we need a couple like possessions to like get settled in to know how we like need to rotate, okay? So just because it gives up one open three, we're already giving up a bunch of open threes anyway, so what's the difference? Like, settle into it and see if it works. And that's the thing, it's like, it's not the trap that was bad, it's the backside rotation. So that's the thing, if we change our defense and we're struggling to rotate on the backside for a possession or two, that's when you call a timeout and you say, okay, we're going to trap, this guy needs to help, this guy needs to rotate over, this is how we need to rotate, we've worked on this in practice, that's what we need to do. Then the team is probably more prepared coming out of that timeout to execute a trap properly and rotate, and you probably won't give up open threes if you do that. But that's the problem. It's like, we try it once on the fly, and if it like doesn't work once on the fly, oh, we're done trying it, when like the main scheme we run doesn't work all game long. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's frustrating.
I just want to. William has a great point, and I started ranting, and Charles, shut up, man. I don't think I'm better than Terry Stotts. I've said time and time again.
He's gone.
But anyways, so William brings up, what did the Nets do during the game today?
They trapped Dame. They switched things up.
They completely changed their defense from a pretty basic defense to a completely crazy, like, send like 2 or 3 guys at him and like completely take him out of the game. And they basically almost won this game because they basically said anyone but Dame beat us, right?
I actually like, have a clip from something. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, let me play this. This is funny. I haven't heard it yet, and Eric won't be able to hear it, but there is subtitles on it.
Lillard dribbling up, you guarding him. I don't care if that's CJ McCollum. I don't care if that's Michael Jordan over there. You pick him up.
I got you.
No, I don't. He got. That's the ball right there, and Dame got it. He gonna shoot it from the NBA. Damian Lillard dribbling up.
Damian Lillard dribbling up. You guard him. I don't care if that's CJ McCollum or Michael Jordan over there. You pick up Dame. That's the ball right there, and Dame got it. He gonna shoot it from the NBA logo. That's funny. Oh my goodness, man.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. Because the guy's like, really? It's like, that's Damian Lillard, man. Because it's like sub rookie Jeremiah Martin, I think, was being talked to. But yeah. So anyway, you were saying.
So I don't remember. Like, I think Dame got 3 free throws on a foul, but I think after he hit a 3 with a few minutes left, I don't think he got another shot off other than the free throws, if I'm mistaken. And we had, like, you know, that's when we had Trent shooting all those. Melo had a couple threes. CJ had a couple shots. Nurk had a couple shots. And they almost beat us because they completely took Dame out of the game. And I just don't understand why we do that against Harden and completely take him out of the game and make anyone else beat us. But when we have guys like Josh Richardson and Karis LeVert completely going off for 30-some points against us, you know, probably setting their career highs against us. Actually, LeVert had like 50 in a game, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I'm kind of being exaggerating a little bit. But, like, why not at some point just say, you know what, Karis LeVert is absolutely killing us. Let's just take him out of the game for a few minutes and see if anyone else can step up. Now, you might have a Taylor Johnson, like tonight, go off and hit a bunch of, like, crazy shots, and that's fine. And that's all I'm asking for, is just to try something different. We're in the 4th quarter of this game, and we were still letting him drive right to the middle of the paint, turn around and get space and do his little 5-foot turnaround shots, and he was making almost every single one of them. And not one time, other than that one double team, which was, like I said, kind of out of just like a chaotic situation. It wasn't necessarily that we sent an actual double team off a pick at him. So yeah, it's just so frustrating. Like, if he is coaching at all, he would make an adjustment every once in a while. He's not doing that. He's not doing it, not even from game to game, not from halftime. This is why we will never win a championship with Terry Stotts unless Dame and CJ score like 100 points a game, because he does not know how to adjust. We saw in the Western Conference Finals, we got killed by Draymond Green just grabbing the ball, going coast to coast, laying it in. No one freaking stops him. How many times a game did he do that in the Western Conference Finals? And in these close games, how many that makes a huge difference in those close games, right? And we saw tonight, like, we had guys like Joe Harris and, like, scrub wings that I've never heard of, like, grab a rebound and go coast to coast and no one picks up ball. I learned, like, the first practice of my first fourth grade basketball that the number one rule of defense is to stop the person with the ball dribbling up the court. Yeah, we don't even do that. Like, what does the coach do? Like, I don't know. Like, I seriously cannot answer what he does other than he's nice to Dame and all the guys on the team, and they like him because he's nice to them and, lets them do whatever they want. So, like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? I mean, it's just all results based, and those results are based on Damian Lillard being an incredible player and willing this team to victory. And I don't get why anyone would think that he's doing anything to coach this team.
Yep. Same, same thing that we've said all season long, and it's just manifesting itself. But Dame's saving us, it's Dame save us, Dame save us, Dame save us. That's basically, that's the thing. If Dame's not scoring 61, 51, 42, we're losing. Like, we're not in the playoffs. The Suns pass us up. Like, really? The Suns? We're going to talk about personnel. The Suns? The Phoenix Suns. They went 8-0 in the bubble. They're playing decent defense. With DeAndre Ayton, who's not a good rim protector, with Devin Booker, who's a bad defender. They're starting, Dario Saric at the 4? He's not a good defender, right? Like, defensive personnel-wise, like, yeah, they got Mikal Bridges. They got a couple good defenders, but so do we. Like, in terms of defense,
Rubio's a good defender.
Rubio's a good defender, yeah. Rubio, Mikal Bridges, like, they got a couple good defenders in there, but, like, Cam Johnson isn't a good defender. Aaron Baines is, like, solid, but it's like, defensive personnel-wise, I don't see how their defensive personnel is any better than ours. Like, we both don't have great defense personnel, but they're playing good defense. How? How are teams with horrible defensive personnel playing such better defense than us if it's just because of our personnel? That's the excuse that's just so stupid.
People say we don't have a wing defender, but Little, I know he was out tonight, but he hasn't gotten a minute in any of these games, and he has proven a few times this season that he is at least capable in the defensive end, and you can do some things with him, putting him on a player like I know he wasn't missing tonight, but like if you put him on a Karis LeVert, he might have had a little bit of time. But
yeah,
it doesn't matter if we're still switching the picks. Like, it doesn't matter who we have. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's not like we're getting beat 1-on-1 because they're like attacking our poor perimeter defenders. We're getting beat off the pick and roll. And like, you could have a great perimeter defender, right? But they're getting screened. You know what I mean? That's why you run a pick and roll, to create space. So, like, in terms of, like, defending the pick and roll, it's less about, oh, you gotta have a great perimeter defender. It's more about the type of scheme you run. It's the perimeter defender plus the big. We have a good defensive big. We have mobile defensive bigs. Like, Hassan Whiteside is a little underrated in terms of, like, how he can step out and effectively hedge. Hassan Whiteside can effectively hedge. We saw it opening night. The one time this Stotts decided to switch up the pick and roll scheme in opening night, I was like, oh my goodness, Stotts is running a good pick and roll scheme. He's running a good pick and roll scheme. I said that opening night because we switched it up and we were hedging and that type of stuff. So that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just such a cop out excuse to not even analyze the game, not even actually focus on what's going on. It's always going to be that way. They're like, Stotts can do no wrong in some people's eyes and will never do any wrong. Like, and there will always be people that are just biased for him and just focused on, oh, well, did we win? Oh, we won. Okay, go Stotts. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way it is. So you're being gifted with maybe the most talented player in franchise history. I say he is. Some people would make an argument. Of course, I'm probably a little biased. I didn't grow up during Clyde's days. But, like, this dude had 30 points per game and 8 assists per game this year. 40% from 3. 46% from the field. True shooting percentage was probably rounds up to 63%. Right? Like, bro, this guy's... offensively, he might be a top 3 talent in the league. Like, there's nobody that like stands out that far above him offensively. Like, sure, like Giannis, great defender, right? Kawhi, great defender. LeBron, really good defender when he tries. You know what I mean? So, like, these wings, like, obviously they're better than him. They do on both sides of the ball. But, like, offensively, Dame is like, you can just roll the ball out there, and Dame will help you. You could get 120 points per game just roll the ball out there with Dame. Especially when you have a guy like CJ and have a guy like Trent and have a guy like Melo who's been playing solid in the bubble and have a guy like Nurkic, but it's just, I don't know.
We have one of the best pick and roll offensive players of all time, and we have two of the better ISO scorers. Melo's probably one of the best like pure scorers of all time in the NBA. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't be scoring. We have talented bigs that can score. One of them can pass really well. One of them's a tremendous finisher. We have Gary Trent Jr., like I said, shooting. I think he's still around like 50% shooting for threes during this bubble.
Yeah, but notice how the people that use personnel as an excuse for our bad defense and to excuse Stotts, they don't take away from Stotts and say, oh, look at our offensive personnel, right? What is Stotts doing? Our offensive personnel is just great, right? They don't view it as a personnel thing in terms of our offense. It's go Stotts. But in terms of our defense, it's personnel, right? You got to play both sides of the coin then. Like, if personnel is so responsible for everything, then you can't give Stotts that much credit for the offense, especially when you look at it that way with how much offensive talent we have. And especially, like, the thing is, the type of offensive talent we have makes it very easy to coach because it's just pick and roll. You don't have to set anything up to run a pick and roll. You don't have to set anything up to run an isolation. You can roll the ball out there and, like, in open gyms, that's what happens. In high school, you just run pick and roll and isolate. Like, in college, open gyms, you just run pick and roll and isolate and try and get out on the break. In the NBA, you can roll out the ball, and they'll run pick and roll and isolate. And the thing is, we have amazing pick and roll players and amazing isolation players. So, like, offensively, they're going to make him look better than he is.
And, like, personnel, it can go both ways. So, you could have the personnel to overcome the coach's crappy schemes, which is what's happening in the past here. Like, you have a guy like Ariza who played pretty good for us. He fought through picks. He knows how to get around picks. He doesn't get put in bad position where he has to automatically switch. He rarely ever switches because he's so good. He can fight through those picks and get through them regardless of what the coach is telling him to do. He doesn't get picked, so he doesn't have to switch. And we had, like you said, the first game of the season, we had Whiteside hedging hard and recovering on his man. It worked well. Like, we have situations where we see people who do things that aren't our normal system, but then, like, a few games later, they're back to doing what Stotts wants them to do, and it doesn't work. It's just so frustrating.
Yep.
Alex asks, why the hell haven't Dame started to double team Dame? Did you not watch the game?
What?
I don't. Have you not watched any of the bubble games? I don't know.
Alex, man, what? They doubled him hard at like half court in the second half.
They were doubling him beyond half court, so he had to pass the ball before he even got to half court. But like one time they didn't come up far enough and he hit a shot from almost half court. A few other times he scored off of like some insane just shots with people in his face. I
got a rant about something when you're done talking.
Go ahead.
Bro, RIP Blazers. We've already said multiple times we're not going to talk offseason, but that trade isn't even possible. 1, Rodney Hood has a player exception. 2, Jeremy Grant is a free agent. 3, I'm pretty sure Torrey Craig is a free agent. 4, a player exception? You mean a traded player exception? Traded player exceptions don't work like that. 5, we don't have a Hawks second round pick. So what the hell are you talking about, man? Come on, bro.
Oh, we got a top 55 protected one for the.
So that's the one part of that trade idea he actually got right. Bro, we're not talking offseason, but that's like not even possible in multiple different ways.
Grant and Hood both have player options, and Torrey Craig is a free agent, but he's a restricted free agent.
Yep.
So yeah,
that salary doesn't match. You can't use a trade player exception like that. But we're gonna wait on the offseason stuff, as we said multiple times, my guy. You don't listen to us enough, so we're gonna give you a little bit of heat whenever you don't listen to us, man. Because we know
Alvaro,
you don't listen to us.
The Wizards aren't doing that either. But
we said we ain't gonna. Talk off season. Shout out to Near012. Said, sorry, side note, I had to buy 2 Blazer Uprise sweaters so I can let my girlfriend steal one and still have one to wear. Hashtag life hacks. That's amazing, nice. Bro. That's amazing.
Does your girl actually know what that means, or you need to let her like if people see her wearing it, be like, oh, you should check these guys out. They're on YouTube. Let her know.
Wear the sweatshirts together. Have her fall asleep in your arms or something. Take a selfie. I'll show it on stream to 100 people, and then you can tell her she's slightly famous or something. She'll have no idea what you're talking about. Say she's YouTube famous. That's funny. Blazers Uprise, man. If chat wins picks against the spreads, which I think I did really well today. Let's talk about picks against the spread records, and then let's do that, and then let's sign off. Because we'll have a stream tomorrow and preview the play-in. if chat wins picks against the spread, or if chat beats one of us, I'll like do some merch for chat and give it away. I'll do some like chat based merch. If like chat beats one of us, I'll do one giveaway. If chat beats both of us, I'll do like 3. I'll give away 3 shirts or something like that. That's your guys' reward if you guys beat us in picks against the spread. But how did we do today? That Spurs game saved things.
I have no idea. I don't even know if I wrote it down. Okay. So, Wizards won, right?
I'll go over the scores if you want me to. Let's go over. I'll pull it up on the screen.
Suns won. Grizzlies won. Jazz won, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said the Magic won.
Did I? Yeah, they won by 6.
And the Nets covered the spread, obviously.
Yep.
So we all lost the Celtics game, but Chat and I had the double down on that one.
That's rough. The Wizards finally won a game.
You and Chat won the Suns game, including your double down. We all won the Grizzlies game. I was the only one who won the Jazz game. You and Chat won the Magic game, and we all won the Nets game.
Yep. No, we lost the Nets game.
No, we all won the Nets game.
No, the Blazers were favored by 9. And we all picked the Nets.
They won by 1.
Oh, yeah, duh. I'm stupid. I fixed it up. I like inverted it. Okay, yeah, you're right. So what were our records?
Yeah, the Nets were favored by 9.
Yeah, so I just completely, duh. I inverted it. So I went 6-1 today.
Let's see.
No, I went 5-2.
Oh. Yeah.
And you and Chat went.
I had 4 losses, so I was 3-4.
3-4.
Chat was 4-3.
Okay. So what are our records right now?
Dude, I don't know.
You don't know.
You would know better than me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either.
I didn't update it after the games yesterday.
Got you. There's only 4.
I haven't had a chance to.
Well,
I'll look up the spreads though for tomorrow for you real quick.
All right, and we'll do that in chat right now. We'll do picks against the spread for tomorrow. It's the last day. I think I have like a 4-game lead. I think I pulled away last second.
Okay, all 4 games have spreads, so that's good.
All right.
First one is Raptors are 2-point favorites against the Nuggets.
All right, Raptors are 2-point favorites against the Nuggets. I'm going to take the Raptors.
All right.
Vote in chat. I'll count.
I'm gonna take.
Chat's being smart and voting against me.
I'm gonna take the Raptors as well.
That's 5 for the Raptors, 5 for the Nuggets, 6 for the Raptors. Whichever gets to 10 first.
Yeah.
Charles is back. Bye. He just said LOL and you gone. Yeah, vote in chat based on the spread. We got 8 for the Raptors, 5 for the Nuggets. Looks like chat's going with the Raptors. All right, next game. What we got?
Next game is the Pacers are 1.5-point favorites against the Heat. Interesting game for home court advantage in their series. Not that it matters.
I'm gonna take Miami there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. I'm actually gonna take the Pacers.
Yeah.
I think the Heat will probably rest players.
Yeah, you can tell RIP isn't listening. He just saw all the team names. Oh, you're doing picks? Raptors. We already... We're past that, bro. Oh, my goodness. I told you guys he doesn't listen to us. Looks like chat's going with the Heat.
Okay. All right. Next up, we got the Clippers are 4.5-point favorites against the Thunder.
I hate the Thunder bench players, like the bench scrubs for the Thunder, so I'm going to take the
Baisley's
Clippers.
been balling, though.
Ooh, you're right. Ooh, my guy Baisley, bro. That's what I wanted to see from him, man.
And Muscala.
God, I hate Muscala.
I
don't know. I'm going to take...
He did win that game.
I am going to take the Clippers there.
All right. I'm just going to take the points and go with OKC. I don't know if the Clippers even care at this point.
Yeah, true. But, I mean, the Nets... You know what I mean? Like,
well, they beat us without caring too. So.
True.
None of these games matter to anything.
I know.
So
I know.
It's so weird. Yeah,
it's just the final night of the season. We're doing this. We'll be doing this again in December, hopefully. You know. So I mean, it's not that long of a layoff between the end of the regular season and the start of the next one. It's like less than 4 months instead of being 6 months.
It'd be fun to do a playoff one, but like have actually something agreed to on the line beforehand.
Yeah, we could do playoff picks against the spread.
That'd be fun because then we know all the teams are playing to win, so it's more like you're actually like there's a strategy to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we could continue on this and make playoff games double.
Yeah, whatever.
Because if we're gonna do it in the playoffs, we might as well just continue this. But that's not what we said originally, so I don't know. But we don't have anything on the line, so we could just say, okay, we're going to do it through the playoffs.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, chat?
To actually put something on the line and then have it, yeah.
You want me to start with the leave us on the line?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it'd be, if we're going to put something major on the line, it'd be cool to start over versus, like, having a disadvantage agreed to. That makes sense.
Well, that's why I was saying do them double, because they'll be remove the difference.
Who did the chat go with? Clippers and OKC?
Clippers and OKC, yeah. The Thunder.
Thunder? Okay.
Yep. And then the last game?
Last game is Rockets are 4.5-point favorites against the 76ers.
Sorry, I read Near Zero's comment. What did you say?
Sing the Barney song in a Starbucks and record it. What? You guys are weird. That's a weird fetish, Near Zero. We got candy necklaces and sing the Barney song while eating a candy necklace. Rockets are 4.5-point favorites against the 76ers.
Rockets are 4.5-point.
I'm gonna take the Sixers. Just points.
I am also going to take the Rockets.
The Rockets?
Had
already marked. Yeah, okay.
Oh man. Let's see what chat goes for. I think I got this pretty much wrapped. Like, I think I've clinched the win for this, which sucks that we don't have anything on the line for this. That's why I want to continue it, but make it double. That'll split it in the middle.
What game do you want to be your double?
The frickin'... I don't know. You pick. Which one is my worst pick, Eric? Which one do you think is my worst pick?
I have no idea.
That's the one I want to double down on.
Well, so who did they go with, Rockets or Sixers?
The Rixers. The
Sixers?
Sockets. The Sockets.
The Rockets. Okay.
I don't know.
So you'll have one, I guess we'll get the one where both Chat and I took OKC and you picked Clippers. But yeah, then
I'm doubling down on the Clippers.
All right.
I don't know. I don't care. I have too much of a lead. I pulled away. I clutched up, man.
I'm going to double down then on the 76ers if Chat went with the Rockets because I need some way to make up the difference.
Yeah. I will say this. I've gotten really lucky on betting on games that like have like little meaning to them.
Yeah.
You know? Like the Magic game today and stuff like that. So I've like lucked out with that because I've just been like gut feeling. I told myself I was going to punch myself in the gut if the Magic lost because my gut told me the Magic with the 3.5-point favorite over the Pelicans, and my gut was right. So thank you, gut.
Who else donated today besides Near Zero and Beavis and Butthead?
I don't know. I wish there was an easy way to go back and thank, but there's not.
Near 012 and Beavis and Butthead, if you're still in here, what game would you like Chat to be for the double down?
Good pick.
whoever responds first gets the double.
Flexing.
Thunder. Okay. All right. So they went head to head with their double down with you.
Next season for this, we will hopefully have some of you guys that consistently pick every time we do this. Shout out to Alvaro Bazan for the 99-cent donation. I think I have it set to if you are the top level of membership on the main channel, which is $25 a month, you will be able to participate in picks against the spread and make your own picks. So it'll be my pick, Eric's pick, your picks. So what we'll do is we'll have it might be kind of hard to, I don't know, I'll have to figure out a system to do it. Like, we will send you like the spreads and you'll have to make your pick by game time. We'll send you the spreads the night before and you'll have to make your pick by game time. The thing is, by that time we'll be back to midday streams, like for picks against the spread and stuff next season. And I shouldn't be working as much, so I'll just like make it right before. So we'll send you the spreads the night before. If you are a top member.
Appreciate it, Omara. Just know, like, yeah, I mean, if money's tight, you don't have to donate, but
1,000%, yeah, definitely appreciate it.
We
got ran a little bit like a business, but
like, honestly, like, it's just cool to have all you guys who like have been with us this whole season and who support the channel by watching all our videos and liking them and stuff like that. We really appreciate you guys. And as a reminder, like the video; it helps us out. If you want to, won't force anyone. But Ankle Biter says TNT was questioning why the Nets can double team Dame, but we didn't think about double teaming LeVert.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly what Tori and I have been saying this whole stream, is like, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just so frustrating. Yeah, that's. I mean, how many people have to question that? Like, I don't even understand why it's a question. If we tried it and it didn't work out, and LeVert still scored 37, or he passed to someone who hit a three, like, I mean, whatever. Like, then we could say, at least we tried to do everything we could to stop him. But like, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to not even try to do it.
100%. So we got the playing games. We're still going to be rolling on with post-game shows, but
Shervin says, can we get a highlight of the watch party? Yeah, Tori was talking about it.
I don't know if I have time, but I would
just
love
make
to.
it listed or something.
I might make it listed, and you guys can like timestamp. But also, me and Eric like ranted, and I'm not sure I would even want to include that because there is moments where we got extremely pissed. For the people that were watching it, they can testify to that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cuss.
Yeah, we just watch the game like we normally do, man. So,
well, actually, if you give people the link, could they just go watch it, or like
I would?
Is it not?
I would I would just make it public, so it would show up on the channel.
No, I meant like if we didn't want to like show everyone, like you were saying, if we just gave like people a link that we wanted to see it, so it wasn't like showing up on the channel for anyone to go look at it. If that makes sense.
That'd be like a lot of work, though. To like give. I mean, we could, but I'd have to go back and copy paste
you could just like post it on Discord as like an unlisted link, but then no one else could see it or whatever.
That might be what I do. If you want to watch our watch party back, join our Discord. There is a link. I will post a link in the chat. I will post.
And just warning you, if you don't like cussing, mute it or something.
Yeah, I mean, think about how mad we get, but then like unfiltered and only streaming to 8 people and not caring to like be politically correct. I probably said I effing hate Terry Stotts at a couple points during that time. I definitely ranted a couple times just over the stuff that keeps happening. You know what I mean? Like, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating as hell because I just want this team to do as best as it possibly can, and I feel like we're kind of being held back from that a little bit when we just run one scheme that doesn't work and we give up 130 points per game. So it's all out of love, if that makes sense. But there's the Discord link. I will copy paste.
Near 012 says he never got his link.
I posted in the community tab on the main channel. I didn't know how else to get it to you. Near Zero. If you were the one who recently bought 2 sweatshirts, I also emailed it to you. So if you bought sweatshirts, I emailed it to you as well. And I also posted in the community tab for members only. So, and I tweeted out to say, if you are a YouTube member, check the community tab for a stream link. So I tried. I'm sorry about that, man. I will post the unlisted link on the community tab for members only.
My mom was in here earlier, Alvaro.
Yep.
I'm guessing she didn't know how to come back once the first stream ended, but yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
And near zero, yeah. Did you just say it lists all the perks on there?
Yep.
Okay.
I can go over. Actually, let me go over them for all you guys watching. If you guys want to become a YouTube member, some of these I need to work on. Things have just been hectic, so be a little patient with them. But here we go. Here's the perks for you guys. You get loyalty badges, you get custom emojis, and I need to add to these because I can add a few. So the next custom emoji, let me show you a little preview, which I will edit into an emoji. But let me show you a preview of our next emoji. That's our next emoji. Y'all recognize who that is? Oh, when Eric sent me that, I was dying. I was like, that's perfect. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that is our next emoji. That is our special clown emoji. It's our Chad Doing clown emoji. That's Chad Doing, in case you guys didn't realize that.
Nope, it's Chad Doing, Alvaro.
Oh, that's the perfect for, like, how much we argue with them and, like, talk about it, Is that Skip? No, it's Chad Doing. It's actually Chad Doing. He lost a bet or something. But I could add a few more. So if you have emojis ideas, like DM me or something. If you have like an idea for emoji, that would be good. It's going to be hard to top that one though. But yeah, so you get custom emojis. Video shoutouts. The thing is, I haven't done a video in like a month and a half. I also will put out a wallpaper for this month. And then I haven't really been able to do these, but next season we'll definitely consistently do like full highlight reactions, that type of stuff. And over the off season, since we won't be doing that much, we'll probably put out reaction videos or that type of thing on like a third channel. Me and Derek, if you want.
Anyone who's going to watch any of the watch party, it'd be cool if you like had the game recorded or something. Like,
if you wanted to like watch it all the way through, if you could light it up, that'd be dope. All-Star, if you become an All-Star, you get access to the that went bye. All-Star, you get additional perks. You get a discount on Blazers Uprise merch, which I need to give out, and then I'll probably do a giveaway because I haven't like given this out yet. So I'll probably just do a giveaway for members. But you will receive a discount, just a permanent discount on Blazers Uprise merch and members only watch party streams, which is what we did today.
Oh, my mom is here. Hi, Mom.
If you become a superstar, we will do one of these this month before the playoffs. It'll either be like, okay, what are your guys' award picks? Or we'll do like, what is your playoff bracket? Like, what are your playoff predictions? And we'll go over that and like talk about it. And that could be fun. The round table is basically just where we have whoever's a $10 a month superstar or more come on a stream with us and have their audio and like basically have a bunch of people in at once. And we just kind of go around the table, so to say. And, no face cam or anything, but we'll have your audio, and I'll try and make like a graphic where it says who's speaking while you guys are speaking, if that makes sense. So I still gotta like plan this, but one of these a month. I want to do one of these a month where maybe not during the off season, but definitely in season, where we have whoever's a superstar or MVP come on the channel once a month and do this like collaborative type of thing. And then when I do Blazers Pulse episodes, I will, if you're a superstar or an MVP, I will have your vote. I will highlight your vote on each poll. So, those like poll videos that I do where I post polls and go over my answer and throw an Eric's in it. I will include your name and your pick for that poll, if that makes sense. And then MVPs, you get to be a pick against the spread participant. You'll be like one of the first people I go to for advice on the channel. And exclusive live stream appearance. So that's what I was doing before, where you can just come on any live stream you want once a month, and that's not including the roundtable. So you'd have the roundtable and the exclusive live stream. So these are all the perks that I wanted to put out. I wanted to make it worth your money, basically. So you're supporting me, but also hopefully you're getting enough out of it that it's a good deal. With each with All-Star, I forget what I made the discount, but you receive a discount, and then Superstar, you receive more of a discount on merch, and then MVP, you receive more of a discount on merch as well. So I think the perks are pretty good. Things have just been hectic, so I gotta get working on a couple of these. So just be a little bit patient with them, but I will roll all these out. And then September 20th is the tentative date for our website to release. We still need writers. Email me at blazersupprise@gmail.com if you are interested in writing for our website. So that's something that I'm super excited about, to be able to have written content. We have a few writers already lined up to write for us, and we'll do like draft content and off-season stuff and all that type of stuff. So that's going to be fun this off-season to put that out and launch that. You know, I'm trying to grow the platform. I'm trying to like compete with like Rip City Project and hopefully one day Blazers Edge in terms of written content. So it's going to take a while, but just trying to grow the platform in that way. So that will be fun to do. That'll be fun to have like just a legitimate website, because we have our merch website, but it's a bare bones website. So I'm completely overhauling the design and like a lot of the website. I'm just going to be honest, I shelled out $1,000 just to have this website built, and it's not even really to make money. I just want to grow the platform and want to just have a website where we can push out written content. So your guys' support has helped make it possible for me to be able to do this, to be able to help out the platform. So
shout out to Beast Up Ahead for the $5 dono. He says, yo, I just realized the biggest game of Nurk's career was breaking his leg against the Nets over a year ago. Now biggest of season against Nets, and won.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Nurk was having a great game when he broke his leg too. Unfortunately, that was the game that Steph Curry missed a free throw. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone to overtime, and then who knows what would have happened then. It's always a what-if game with the Blazers, I guess. But yeah, it's I mean, Nurk, he was off for like almost a year and a half. So like, I'm not going to be too hard on him. He does need to finish better. He really struggled, especially in the first half of this game, and he struggled last game. But it's just unreasonable to expect him to play like he had the first few games, like play that well and that consistently with how much time he was off. But yeah.
I'll post another comment from our second channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to that. Maybe do the preview stream over here, but probably over on the second channel. So if you guys want to watch our play and preview stream, I am posting a comment right now from that second channel, so you guys can easily just click on it and go subscribe. I am posting that right now from Blazers Uprise Live.
People are convinced Charles Alexander is People's Mix, but he says, you aren't going to have any fans if you treat your members this terribly. You are going to be living in your mama's basement until 40 years old if you censor all your subscribers. Hey, joke's on you, man. I'm 41. Ha.
Yep.
I own my own house, so whatever. Thanks anyway. Nice try.
Oh, man. And I'm moving out of here in the next month, man. Honestly, I will say this. Like, I have, put off moving out just to be able to do this type of stuff, which is definitely worth it. You know, I have to work so much to try and move out because I don't know. I could move into an apartment right now, but I'm trying to move into a house. So I'm just kind of taking my time, being a little patient, and just saving up money and running this for you guys, and just trying to pour myself into streaming and covering the team. We've been streaming every single day. We've been killing it with the streams. We finally finished the streaming schedule. This is the schedule that we had, and Thursday, August 13th, we're done, but we're streaming tomorrow, and then we're streaming the next day, and then hopefully the Blazers win, because if the Blazers win, then Sunday we're taking a day off for the first time since August 1st, so the first time in over 2 weeks, because we've been streaming every single day. Oh man, even when I went to the beach, we had this post-game show, I went to the beach Saturday, drove back Sunday, streamed again, so we've been killing it with the streams. It's been fun to consistently stream again, talk about basketball, all that type of stuff. So I'm hoping they win Saturday so we can just take a day off, relax, and I'll probably work 12 hours on Sunday, but and then we
still come back Monday with a preview of the Tuesday playoff series.
Mm-hmm. Monday would be the roundtable show. It'd be over on Blazers Uprise Live as well. So do make sure you go subscribe to that channel. I know there's definitely people watching this right now. We still got 76 people watching this. We only got 300 subscribers on that channel. We got almost 3,000 on this one. I'm excited to reach the 3,000. So there's definitely a lot of people subscribed to this main channel that aren't subscribed to that second channel. So make sure you go subscribe to that second channel. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure you follow me and Eric on Twitter. At Tori Jones YT for me, at HoopsJock for Eric. Let me get rid of this schedule. Yeah, it's right there. It's right under our name, so go follow us. We are consistently tweeting, and that's probably the easiest way to reach me. I'm not sure about Eric, but I do look at my Discord messages and stuff, but I look at my Twitter DMs more. So anyway, anything else we should? I
usually look at both, so if you need to get a hold of me, either way, it's fine.
Yep. I don't know. There's not much to go over. We're done with the regular season, all right? So we're going into the playoffs. We got some exciting things coming up for the channel. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds for this Blazer team and this channel as well. You know, we're going to consistently try and grow this thing. This kind of like, it's not done, so it doesn't wrap up the first season yet, you know? First season should be wrapped up by now, you know, if the season kept on as normal. But, you know, hopefully we're going into September. Hopefully we're going into October, and the first season is like more than a whole year, you know? That'd be awesome.
Scalabrini is asking about a Blazers Uprise draft lottery stream. We probably won't have a live stream or anything, but we'll definitely dedicate some part of a stream either that night or shortly thereafter, because the Blazers play that night if they make the playoffs. So we'll probably talk about it a little bit at some point as well, because it's definitely gonna. There's some interesting storylines there with how that could affect some teams' futures there.
I do want to put out, like, on the website when we launch it, consistently updated mock drafts from me and Eric, and consistently updated, like, big boards. Maybe, like, a consensus big board with, like, my rankings, Eric's rankings. Like, we'll be able to do some cool stuff with that website in terms of, like, draft content, especially. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm so excited for that website. Like, I'm so excited for that website, man. I don't know. I'm hyped for that.
So the way it works, if we win either Saturday or Sunday, we would get the 16th pick. But yeah, if we lose, we would have the 14th best odds in the lottery, so the worst odds. So yeah, it's either 14th or 16th, basically.
Yeah.
So I'd rather get 16th and have a chance at the playoffs than get 14th and have like a 2% chance to move into the top 4 or whatever it is.
Near zero scouting videos are really time consuming, so that's not something like we might not like in terms of breaking down film. We might do little videos where we talk about a prospect, but not like stuff where we have like footage that we break down or anything, if that's what you were talking about. But yeah,
it could be 29th or 30th
if we make the finals. Yep. So that cough sound nasty. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how things look like with draft coverage. We don't know how long we're going to be even covering the Blazers, like, playing games. You know, they might win in the first round or something. Who knows? Like, who knows how long the season will last? Hopefully it lasts longer than Sunday, you know? But yeah, so anyway.
We're not taking Paul Reed at 16,
man. But yeah, everything's fluid, so I'm just looking forward to more basketball, and hopefully we can get into the playoffs and give the Lakers a run for their money. That's all I'm hoping for right now.
Yep.
Anyway.
So yeah, anyone who wants to watch us tomorrow night should be like 9:45, 10 o'clock-ish. And
I will tweet out the link. Just make sure you are subscribed to that channel.
And that game Saturday is early. I think it starts at 11:30. So, so yeah, got to get up early for that one. If you're a late sleeper.
11:30. I've actually been waking up at 11, bro.
I'm gonna have to go.
I fixed my hours.
And then hopefully get off in time to make it home to watch the game. Get here by the start of the game. Gotta do what I gotta do.
We officially reached 2,900 subs.
Nice.
We were getting close. I think we've gained about 10 subs this stream. So we're just past 2,900, so we're almost at 3,000. That'll be a fun milestone to hit. I feel like if we reach the playoffs, we're definitely reaching that milestone at some point in the playoffs, so that'll be fun. So I'm super excited just for like the next month. Hopefully me moving out, and then just this channel and the Blazers hopefully making a playoff run. You know, it should be good. It should be good. So I'm optimistic right now. I'm feeling good with this win, even though it was a tough one and much closer than it needed to be. Still feeling good. And there's really nothing much else to say. We will have you covered tomorrow night.
Can you imagine the stream if that shot went in?
Oh my god, bro! It'd be so depressing. And be like, thank you guys for the season. We're taking a month off. Like, like
this would be it. Like
if they lost this game,
streams, but
yeah, if they lost this game, I was thinking about maybe taking like 2 weeks off, not streaming at all, or like streaming once a week for like the next month, or just completely just like screw it. Like I was gonna post like some super depressing video like this game is a perfect microcosm of the Blazers season or something like that, like, and just talk about how much they struggled with different I don't know. Like I was gonna post a depressing video. But hopefully, I mean, now we get to preview this play-in, and we only have to beat Memphis once in 2 games. So, we got the 8th seed. We got a matchup against Memphis. I am feeling good. Let's just win 1 or 2 and get the playoffs. Let's just win Saturday. I would prefer that. But with the Blazers, you know, the Blazery thing to do would be to lose Saturday and then make it close on Sunday. So, I'm not sure. We'll see.
Comes down to like a Kyle Anderson jump shot at the end or something.
Next stream is 9:45 tomorrow night, 9:45 to 10. Sometime in between then, we'll go live over on the second channel, over on Blazers Uprise Live. Charles Alexander, when you post that many emojis, it makes it so your comment doesn't show up, so you're just wasting your time, bro. He keeps spamming with the emojis. So anyway, thank you guys for watching the stream. I will catch you guys later. Reach out to me on Twitter or blazersupprise@gmail.com or Discord or whatever if you have any ideas for the channel, if you want to write, if you have any questions, or anything of that regard. I am an open book, so don't be afraid to reach out to me. Also, apparently somebody saw me in public yesterday and recognized me from YouTube and didn't say hi, which annoys me. If you recognize me in public, come say what's up. I won't bite your head off. I won't chew you out. Unless you're Terry Stotts. If you're Terry Stotts and you come say hi, I might chew you out. But if you're not Terry Stotts, you're good.
Well, I forgot who it was, but I tried to go back and look, and the chat was still disabled the last time I checked. But yeah,
the chat's weird on playback now, so YouTube's been glitching. Yeah. But anyway, Charles says good luck. I'm kind of confused that he's being nice. Appreciate it. Hopefully we don't need it, you know? But yeah, so... Anyway, I'm going to go DoorDash a little bit, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Bye, everyone.
As always, hit him
Blazers
with the sign-off, as always. Peace out. Go Blazers.